Accrington Stanley player, full-time professional footballer now, and you were doing your proper job yesterday. How crazy has this week been?
Yeah, it's been a pretty mad week. I'd say 48 hours ago I was in Paris, landed, and now I'm here as an Accrington Stanley player.
Could you have possibly anticipated this week turning out like this?
Not how it has turned out, but obviously I've been dreaming of becoming a full-time footballer, and now it's happened. So I'm not anticipated the way it's gone out, but we're here now. So
you've had to very quickly hand in your notice at work. You've come in here and been able to spend time with the players for the first time. How determined does it make you to seize this opportunity with both hands?
Yeah, so I had conversations with work yesterday, got them out of the way, and now first training session today, so I'm just buzzing to get started, and obviously straight into a game tomorrow and then a full week of training next week, so I'm looking forward to it.
Tell us about your background. Obviously you've been catching the eye playing for Curzon Ashton, and the management team here have been watching you, they tell us, for some time.
Yeah.
What's that experience been like? How much have you enjoyed the part-time football, and has the full-time football always been the aim? Yeah, so I started off in academies when I was a kid, and I got released at 16. So that was really the first time where I thought I want to be a footballer. And then from there I moved into non-league football, signed for Chadderton at first, so the bottom of non-league. Then moved to Glossop, Mosley, and then ended up at Curzon Ashton. And that's really when I started getting sniffs of becoming a full-time footballer at Curzon. People watching, people feeding back on how I'm playing. And then this has happened now, so starting to feel it now. What's that like when you're 16 and you're dreaming of being a professional and you get told, sorry, you've not made the grade at this point? How, at such a young age, how hard is it to deal with that?
Yeah, I think when you're a kid, you don't really think about that part of football. You're just there to enjoy it. As you get older into 15, 16s, and you're starting to see people get scholarships, youth contracts, it starts to hit home a little bit, and it's harder when you get released. So I think moving that transition from academy football into non-league football helped me loads, because the pressure's off a little bit and you can start to enjoy football a little bit more whilst also still playing at a high level. So I think that transition helped me a lot, and now obviously it's helping me transition back into, going into full-time football. It's a bit of an easier pathway than, I would say, rather than going through the academy system and being watched every single day in training, etc.
Is it potentially a bit easier because you've been out in the real world, living a real life? Yeah,
at 16, 17, you're playing against grown men, and you're thrown straight in there, so you're picking up experiences rather than doing it the conventional way of going through academies. So I've got all these games behind me where I've played for all these different clubs and different experiences.
I guess there'll be lots of players and staff and supporters of all of those clubs who'll be rooting for you as well. To have that support from non-league must be lovely.
Yeah, I'm sure when it goes out that I've signed for the Accrington Stanley, I'll get lots of messages from players from Curzon, players from old managers and players that I've played with in the past. But no, I'm sure everyone will be proud of it.
Over lots of years, Accrington have signed quite a lot of non-league players and given them opportunities. There are players in the changing room now who have signed from Boston and Southport and Chester. Yeah. Does that help? Is that something that makes you think this is the right club for you?
Definitely. Obviously, I've noticed all the lads I've either played against, a few of as well. So it helps knowing that Accrington look at non-league and support non-league. And I'm obviously aware of the lads that have signed and gone on as well to sign for other clubs. So it's definitely a reason why I've signed for Accrington Stanley, because they promote the non-league players, and that's all you can ask for.
And I suppose in some senses the fact that some of these guys will be a little bit ahead of you in terms of making this transition. Yeah. You've got someone whose brains you can pick, you've got guys you can speak to about it. Yeah,
I've already spoke to a few of the lads today about how they found the transition, and just like you said, picking brains and seeing how I can develop. And obviously I've spoke to lads at Curzon as well who've been full-time before, and I still speak to them now, and now I'm sure they'll help me with the transition as well.
What's the ambition then? I guess in the short term it'll be things like a league debut and getting an opportunity to play in the team.
Yeah, so that's the first aim, is to break into the team when I get my chance, get the league debut in, and hopefully become a mainstay in the team.
Do you expect to have to be patient, particularly coming into a team that in 2025 so far has been winning more often than it's not?
Yeah, they've got just come back off the back of a win and a draw, so I know I have to be patient and wait for that moment. But listen, I'm happy to wait. Just keep putting in the work in the training ground, and then when I do get given my chance, I've just got to take it on the pitch and make sure I do what's needed for the team.
And just lastly, how exciting is it? I guess it could be daunting stepping up to full-time football, but when you've done well in part-time football, how exciting is the idea that I'm going to be able to do this every day?
Yeah, it's the unknown to me at the minute. It's a lot better than waking up at 6 o'clock and doing my full-time job and getting back at 6 o'clock. But no, I'm really looking forward to it and just playing football every day. And I know it's going to be even more hard work now. But I'm ready for that, and I'm ready to make the step now.